Welcome and thanks for joining me for the 4th edition of my Automobilista 2 tour of Brazil, where I take you around to some great Brazilian cars and tracks that you may have been avoiding. Today's video features a great car and track combo that includes about the closest you're gonna see to a fully Brazilian produced muscle car. Let's get into it. Today we visit the Autodromo Internacional de Curitiba, located in Minas, Brazil. You thought I was gonna say Curitiba, didn't you? This 2.3-mile, 3.7-kilometer circuit was originally constructed in 1966 as a dirt track, but was paved the following year. In 1971, only 5 years after its construction, a political dispute within the local automobile club led to the circuit's closing. The track remained closed for 17 years, but was reopened in 1988. Track modifications and improvements were made at this time, which included the reversal of the circuit direction. The track features 10 turns that wind their way through subtle elevation changes. The circuit is known for being a bit bumpy and includes several deceptively technical sections. Our car selection today will be the Puma GTB. The GTB is a classic Brazilian grand touring car that was produced from 1973 to 1984. This front-engine, rear-wheel drive car features a naturally aspirated 4.1-liter inline-6 engine producing 213 horsepower connected to a 4-speed H-pattern gearbox. The GTB weighs in at 2,381 pounds or 1,080 kilograms, and much like its older, less powerful brother, the Puma GTE, it has no traction control or ABS. The Puma GTB is part of the Copa Classic FL class, which is based on a real, ongoing racing series in Brazil. Alright, here we go for a quick race in the Puma GTB at Curitiba. Oh, getting some wheel spin off the line here, dropping back a couple positions. Started P8 out of 14. I'm back to 10 now. Trying to make my way up. But I am running the full Copa Classic FL class out here, which is essentially the more powerful cousin to the Copa Classic B series that I had featured earlier in my Brazilian tour here. And much like my earlier video, I am also driving a Puma, which being that this is a series about Brazilian content, I wanted to feature this manufacturer as much as I could, as they are a homegrown domestic automobile manufacturer in Brazil. So, you know, it's not just a car made for the Brazilian market by an international automaker, you know, something like a Chevy Opala, something like that. This is actually Brazilian through and through, and is such a fantastic car, so much fun. I love the look of it, the styling, and the sound of it. It's a bit more powerful than the other cars I've been driving so far, but doesn't get too much away from the handling characteristics that I love so much. You know, one of the biggest things, you got to watch yourself through the corners because it's so easy to carry too much speed in and find yourself drifting through, which, as cool as that looks, not a fast way to take a corner. This is definitely a slow in, fast out scenario with this car on this track. You really got to mind your P's and Q's. Oh, I do not want to let this guy by me here. Alright, see if I can get a little advantage on the straightaway. Looks like I've got that, but not enough to make up any further spots. This is a car that I would love to have a chance to drive, or frankly even see in real life. But being as though there were only about 1,600 of them made in the 10 or 11 years it was that they were produced, I highly doubt many of those made their way up to the US and are still hanging around today. So I will likely have to keep my appreciation and enjoyment of it completely within the sim here, which I'm quite happy to have an opportunity to do. And I would say that in reality that doesn't differ greatly from most of the cars in this game. You know, it's not like I've got a McLaren sitting out in my front yard. I keep that one in the back. Alright, P7 here.
Definitely would love a chance to get at least a top 5. Would feel pretty good about that. I've got the AI set to 103 on the difficulty and 100 on the aggression there, which I find absolutely gives me, for my level, a great race. You know, you can certainly pass if you're on your game, but if you make mistakes, the AI will punish you for it. And that is always the experience that I'm looking for. I'm not trying to get out here and just jump to the front and win. There's no challenge there, no fun. I want that race. I want that action. And I found with AMS 2 that it's not hard to find. Oh, love that first little corner complex there. It's that right-left chicane into almost a right-handed hairpin. And when you get it right, it feels so silky smooth flowing through there, just wiggling your back end through. And you're really using your throttle and your brake just as much as your wheel when it comes to steering your way through there. Such a fun corner. And this one here, this double apex left-hander, very tricky. That second apex comes up very quickly and with a tighter radius than it looks like it's going to have. So easy to find yourself understeering right off the track, and I did many times in my practice here when I first started driving this track. And, depending on what car you bring here, everything's going to be different. And, much like many tracks in reality, it's not like that's a feature of Curitiba specifically, but it's one of the things I love about just racing in general, is it's never the same adventure twice, when it comes to trying out different cars, even within the same class. They drive so differently, have such different characteristics. You can just endless amounts of fun you can have in different ways. Alright, make my way up to that P5 spot there, finally able to get that job done close enough, coming into that front straight to take advantage of some slipstream there. Got a couple other Puma GTBs ahead of me. Alright, see if we can get ourselves into a podium spot here. About 4.5 minutes left. My challenge at this point is going to be make sure I don't start overdriving the car. So easy to do, and find yourself into the tire barriers, especially off that turn and the final one. Those two are very deceptive. Just don't have as much grip as you think you're going to. At least in this car, for myself, that is the case. Alright, barely able to squeeze that one by. Luckily they let me in there. Floated on through. And this is that other second one I was talking about, where it's so easy to carry too much speed, especially if you're trying to make a pass or set yourself up for one in the front straight here. Just overdriving the car is an absolute no-no here at this track. I mean, that's again probably true for most, but I find I'm punished seemingly more here than I am at a lot of other locations. I get a little overzealous. You just here have to work that throttle coming through that turn one series of corners there. If I can keep it on the track here, I should certainly have a chance for a podium. Oh, not a great line through that corner though. Definitely slower than these cars ahead of me. But see if I can join up to their little slipstream train. Might be able to make a move on that front straight. as they start breaking away, trying to make passes among themselves. Oh, they're getting too wide there. I'm going to have to stay behind them. Oh, too hot coming in there. That's exactly what I was talking about. So easy to make mistakes like that. And luckily I didn't get punished too hard for that one. That could have gone south real quick. I should have another lap after this one, I believe, if I caught the timing right at the beginning of that last lap. Get it down into second here. Oh, get that power band. That's the only way I have a chance not to lose too much time here. Maybe we can take a better line through this one. Oh, not much. That might have even been worse. And again, it's a very tricky corner. That's why I say this track is deceptively technical. You know, it's a bumpy surface too at parts, so that definitely does not help, especially in a car like this with, you know, a looser suspension essentially. More susceptible to, you know, a bit more body roll, can get more upset when you hit some of those bumps. You gotta know where you're planting that car at any moment in these turns. Gotta make a plan and stick it. Alright, yep, just one more lap here. Gonna try not to completely blow it, but man, I want that podium spot. I'm gonna try to set myself up to make a pass here, at the very least on that front straightaway. I've had many a race here where as I'm trying to make that final move, I let myself get too carried away, find myself off the track. I'm not going to let that happen this time. Alright, that was a bit better there. Alright. Make my way into P3, got it. So the challenge here is going to be basically the final corner, which I should have here just fine. Oh, but I don't want to let this guy in. He's trying to make a move on the inside of me. Drag race. I got him though. Woo! P3. That felt good.
Well, thanks for riding along with me. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as me. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you give that thumbs up icon a little clickety click there. And if you'd like to see more of my upcoming sim racing action, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. Catch you later.